All right, let's do this. Man, it's been a while. Like 2 days I haven't been here, but yeah. Now I'm back with a slightly different setup. Hopefully, this will give people some more like screen real estate, because there were some complaints on YouTube about people want to see more of my screen. So here's more of my screen. So I hope you enjoy that. Last time, what did we do last time? We had let me remember. So we had this blog, and then I showed you how you can create like content model using the. I can't speak today. How you can use content model using the Contentful migration, and we managed to create some migration stuff, which was here. So we added the first created the author, and then we created the post, and we added some field control. So this is to change like the slug editor to show something. And what else? What did I do? And what else? Yeah, and then we added some validation to allow only the author to be linked to a post. So this will give us stuff like this. You can see here we have all Contentful post nodes, and then this is like the slug, and this is the title, and this is our content, which is JSON stuff. This is the rich text, so it comes in as JSON, and then we're gonna use a React renderer to display the React stuff. All right, so I guess first thing to do is to display a list of stuff in here, of blog posts in here, and then create pages for them. And then when the user clicks on a link, it will go to like a detail page, something like that. So I guess first thing we could do is let's create dynamically more pages to for the blog post. And for that, we need to use the Gatsby create pages. So if we do Gatsby create pages API, which is part of the Node APIs, and go to create pages, you can see here there's a nice example how we can do that. So first thing is we need to export this function, which we will do right here. So this is out of the way. And we will need also the path. Hey, I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great, actually. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? So here we will have const path, which is the path. We need to extract the create page. This is the main function that we will use to tell Gatsby, hey, you should create some pages dynamically. And this we will create soonish. So maybe we can have, blog post template equal to path dot resolve Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad you're doing great also. And thanks for joining. So here, this will be our blog. Blog template, something like this. And so for those of you just joined, we're continuing with adding the blog, the Contentful powered blog to Rubber Goose. So this will be mainly used by the marketing team. We give them a way on how they can produce content, and this is nice to make the website more visible. So that's how you can attract more customers, is to push some content out there. And Contentful is a good way to do that, because the editing part is covered and we will be using only the API to display the content however we want. So that's always great. Alrighty. So here, this GraphQL is we have this query, and then we have the then. So maybe we can do this a bit differently. Let's make this async. And in here we can do const result. This will be GraphQL. This is provided by Gatsby right here, and what we gonna use is what we have in this query right here. We don't need the content part, so we need probably, I think, just the slug for our case. And we don't need also to put the name on a query because it's the default one. So let's take this part and paste it in here. Come on, what did I do? All right. And this will be awaited, since this is returning a promise. So now we have the results. So instead of doing then and having all this chain of stuff, we will await this function, and then we will check this result right here. So here what you're gonna do is, if result.errors, throw all these errors. Otherwise, what we're gonna do is loop through all of our results and then create pages. So here we will do result dot data, and we have all Contentful post. So this is a naming convention by Gatsby, by the way. So all is saying this is kind of a collection node, so we'll expect a lot of stuff from it. It's not a singular node. And Contentful was added as to identify as a namespace to identify this node. And this is this post right here is coming from the name of our content type that we defined last time. So if we look at, if we look at the migration code that we have and go to create post, you can see here we named our content type post. So that's where the name is coming from. So let's go to Gatsby node again, close this. And now we need to do, map. Sorry, not map, but we will do for each. And for each post, we will do some stuff. And what do we need to do is stated in here. We will probably, okay, so I'm missing something here. This should be nodes. You can see here is data, all contentful post, nodes, and then we'll get the object that represents the data. So here we will be looping through all the nodes, and we will create page, and this page will accept few options. If we look in here, we will have the path. So our path would be, so you see here we have like blog. We want to have something like blog slash something like the Slack. So that's the path that we want to have. So here we will do path is equal to, let's have this, and then now we will have, okay, blog, and here we will bring the post dot Slack. So this is the path. So now will be like, for example, like the first blog post will be /blog/rubber ducking best practice, or maybe we will name it to best practices. But anyway, and then another thing which is important is providing the component that Gatsby will use to render this template. And here it was named blog post template, which we will create shortly. And a nice thing here, we can actually pass in some data to that template while we're creating it, while we create that page. So this is, for example, you can pass like the entire data in here and then capture it in the template and then render that. Or a best thing is, if you're not sure about the data, you would maybe pass a unique key. In this case, we will use the slug. And inside of the template, we will query data based on the slug, and then we select whatever we want on GraphQL. And I think that's probably better. So here we can do context. And what we're gonna do is we will have slug, which will be equal to node, it's post.slug. All right, so I think this should be it. So now we need to create this this template that we defined here. Let me zoom in. So inside of SRC, we will need a template folder or templates. So this will be templates. Inside of templates, we will need this blog-template.js, and I'm typing down, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm typing down here. Maybe I can just scale this a bit. I don't know. Oh man, so I'm typing down here, and then now when I'm in this template, I have my blog template JS file. So this will be a React component. So here we'll have the React, we're importing React from React. And we will have the cons, which is maybe blog template. And then here we will receive data. This is what will be coming from GraphQL when we will use it in a bit. And here let's do return. Let's for now just test this and then return maybe h2. Before we do that, maybe we can import the layout from component, and then we have layout. Yep. That's cool. And then here we will have layout. Layout. And inside of layout, let's have a small h2 and then say works. And of course we need to export default blog template, and the data, it's complaining about the data, but we will use it later. So what I like to do here is to close the server and then run it again. And while that's building, maybe we can go to this package JSON and then change this name to something more appropriate, which is rubber goose dev, and then debug your brain. With rubber goose, yeah. And the author is definitely not Kyle, although he's a cool guy. It's me. It's me. Okay. Yep, this is much better. So let's say if we go to blog and let's trigger 404 and then see if we created the page or not. Yeah, here. You can see here if we go to rubber ducking best practice, and you can see it's we create the page. So all is good. And this is the slug that we need. All right. So now let's go to this template and then improve it even further. So right here we will do okay. Yeah. So let's do GraphQL from Gatsby, and in here we will do export const our query equal to GraphQL, and in this case we don't use the parentheses like in the node stuff. We will use the string like the backtick. Okay, so in here let's test our query. What we're gonna do is, instead of all, we will do contentful post. And then here we'll have title content, and content will be JSON. Okay, that's cool, but what you want to do is go to the Explorer and use some filtering. So what we're gonna do is, where is it? Contentful post, and then we need to do Slack is equal to our own Slack. So this one here, I think it would be like, okay, query, maybe get post, and this will have Slack as a string, which is required. I don't know if this is the correct syntax. Slack is never used. Yeah, and then Slack will be here. And let's copy. Where is the Slack? Let's just collapse this data, and then, of course, yeah, this is the Slack that we're looking for. And in our GraphQL, we can do these query variables and have, I don't know what's the, okay, Slack. Slack is equal to this. Hit enter. You can see here, this is the variable that's passed in here, and then we get the data. And Gatsby will help us with this thing, because if you run this function, the GraphQL function, and then have this syntax, it will look into anything you passed into the context, and then set it as, and then look at the name of the property, and if they match, it will pick it up and then inject it in here. And if you remember, we actually passed the Slack to context, so that's why we will have it available for us in this query right here. So for every page is created, we pass the Slack. Gatsby will go in and then check for the Slack property that's passed into the page context, which is a prop by default in here, and then inject it, and then we can use it to query. So here what we are doing is querying the data exactly for that single blog post, and then we will render it. So now here, if we do data dot, maybe before, let's clean up the data first. So here we can do, okay, give me the contentful post from the data. Okay. And then here will be contentful post dot title. Let's just check this with the title, and you can see here this is our title. All right. And probably here we will do some styling since we're at it. So maybe we can do class name, and text is text, maybe XL, semi, what is it? Is it semi bold? I thought I installed something that will help with Tailwind, but I'm not sure. Yeah, kind of, maybe. And maybe we can wrap all of this into a div with class name. We will have a padding of 6, and then this will be container, and then MX auto, just to align it, and then we will close the div right here. Okay, that's nice. Maybe instead of semi-bold, we'll have bold. maybe to Excel as a text. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. All right, so that's that. And now what we want to do is render this content right here. So for that, maybe let's have first a div. That would be like the content. And we could like just to test our theory. So we'll have contentful post dot content dot JSON. And here this will be JSON stringify this value right here. And man, I keep clicking stuff. Okay, so we will just display the data just to test everything is fine. So here this will be null and probably 2. And you can see this is the data. This is our text. And probably this is not best for our users. We don't want to display JSON. And to do that, let's go to the GitHub repository. We have Contentful, and then it's github/contentful/rich text. And then go to the packages. And we are interested in this rich text React renderer. So you need to install this. And we will need to do rich text types. So let's go back in here and then yarn add this and rich text types. We need both of these to be able to render stuff. And we wait. Okay, that's nice. So let's take a look at the stuff in here. This is what we are interested in. You can see here we have like blocks and stuff from the type, and for every type we can actually do some stuff like this. So let's first take this document. Where is it? Yeah, let's just copy this code in here. So we have this document to React component stuff. And here, instead of stringify, we will add that document. We will call that function. So let's see. Sorry, it doesn't. Let's refresh this. You can see here it's doing some basic styling and it's rendering our text. And these all are actually React components. But I wanna intercept these headings and then apply some style to them. All right, and to apply the styles to these headings, I mean, you can also apply some styles of the paragraph and stuff like that. We can like follow this documentation right here. So what we can do is, before we render everything, we can do, okay, I wanna maybe up here. So here we can do, okay, const paragraph. So this paragraph will be a function that accepts children and will return like a paragraph with class name. Here we can do, okay, maybe text gray 700, and then text SM, and maybe we can do margin bottom 4. All right, and then here we will display the children of that, and then we close the paragraph. Let me see, was this an H2 in here? Let's see. Okay, so this is an H2, and this is also like an H2, so probably this should be an H4 or H3. Yeah, but let's define this. So how we wanna style our H2? So maybe you can do, okay, heading, or maybe you can just do H2. This will be again a function, same thing, children, and this will be H2, and then we will apply some styles. We will do, okay, text XL, and then we can do, okay, bold. We will see else what we can do, and then we can put the children of that in here, and this will be H2. So let's start with these two things. Let's do options, and then with the options, if we go back again in here, you can see, okay, we have blocks and other stuff, but if we go to the types, I think we can see all the types stated here. Nope. Where was it? Yeah, here are the types. So we will need blocks, heading 2, and blocks paragraph, which we need to import from the types library. So here we will have, okay, give me blocks, and I think we need just blocks for now. And this will be contentful rich text types. And inside here we need to, I think we need to do render node. So here we need to have this render node object, and right here we will do, okay, blocks dot heading 2. So if you're wondering what is this weird thing, this is just saying, giving it a bracket, and this will be a string. So this is kind of the property in here. And for this, we will have the H2 as a component. And then blocks again dot, I think, paragraph. This will be a paragraph. And we, as the second argument, we can pass the options right here, and then we hit save. Now it's not showing anything interesting. Are we? Okay, maybe let's do some console logging. Console log. Children, and do like an or in here. Both are undefined. Okay, so let's here have a node and then see what's going on. Children is not defined. Yeah. Okay. So node type is heading. Data. Interesting. Content. This is weird. I didn't have like a mark. So why I'm receiving this entire array of stuff? Let me see. Get this out of the way. I'm just logging in really quickly. Okay, we are in the right space. And let me make this bigger. So let's go to here and then see what is going on. No, this is heading 2, and this is heading 2. Okay. Let's publish again, and then let me remove also the cache. Maybe do Gatsby clean. Oh, come on. Cache on public. And then run the server again. Okay. still is showing different data. Okay, object, heading to. So for both heading to, we have content of 0 and then the value. All right. I guess this will be node dot content 0 dot value, which is weird, but so let's see. At least we need to start. Okay, we are displaying the heading stuff. So let's remove this. And then start debugging this one. So log still node. Node right here, and delete this word. Just clear up the all right, let's refresh. Okay, these are the paragraph, and it is definitely weird, but yeah, okay, we'll see. Okay, content and then data. So this is an empty paragraph. This is I don't know. I feel like this might be a bug, but I'm not certain. Because here, like, okay, this is two. So I guess what we can do is, okay, node dot content dot map so v, we will return v dot value, and join with a new line. No, I think it's not even. I don't know, it feels weird. I mean, yeah, this is okay. Let's compare the text. Okay, yeah, because this was like bold, so we need to do something about it. Okay. Okay, lorem ipsum. But I wanted just to have the paragraph, because I mean, if we clearly remove the paragraph from here, it will render everything fine for us. See? I think the parser is doing something. slightly different, but we'll see. Okay, anyway, we can probably, remove this paragraph. And we can go to our style. And then here we can say, okay, paragraph. I want you to apply. What do we need to apply? Text gray 800. We need to do, okay, text SM, and then maybe margin bottom 4. Yeah. This looks nice. Like we have the color and stuff like that. So now we need to have a link to this page. Right here we have only a blog, so let's replace that by the list of stuff. So in our page blog, you can see here saying blog. Here's what we can do is use GraphQL again, which we will import from Gatsby. And have the query. Will be GraphQL so this one will be where was it? Okay, let's remove this query, make this slightly bigger. We can build something using the Explorer. So we can go all Contentful post and nodes, and I want to have the slug and the title. And maybe the Contentful ID, because I want to use it as the key property in React. So we don't need this. This will still work. Let's copy this in here. Probably have like this extra stuff. Okay. And then here we get the data object as usual. And then from here we get like the all Contentful post. And from that we will extract the nodes. This will be like data. And now we will loop through the nodes, map through them, sorry. And then render something like a list. So what we can do is have like a div. Let's name. Let's just do a margin bottom of 4. And here we will have h2, and this will be node dot title, and then this will be an h2, and then we will use link in here. and this, come on. And then here we will have this h2 wrapped in a link. And I think we had, okay, link, and then we say 2, and the 2 here will be node.slug. And then here this will be link. Let's see if we did everything correct, which is not an error function, but call come on. Oh, okay. Yeah, return this stuff right here. Oh man. So this is the link. When we click it, it would. Okay. The link should be a blog. It should be like we define it in the Gatsby node page. So this would be /blog/ and then the node.slug. And oh, come on. I hate this. Yep, this should be the link. If we go back and then click again, yeah, it's taken us to the blog page, like the blog post. And this, maybe you can make it nicer. I guess this would be like Y2. So we have both sides. Okay. And let's style a bit our links. So we can have, okay, border, bottom, border. I think purple 700 or something. Let's see. Let me inspect this element and try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, here. So let's see. Okay, border, purple 700. Where is it? Border B 2. What's going on? Border tailwind CSS. Yeah. border B. That's border B. And then it's like border. I don't know, like border B 2 and then this is weird. It's not showing any border. That's like, it's driving me crazy. Like this is, I mean, I just copy the same thing. And then paste it here. And then see. What? So the hover is working, but then we don't see this border stuff. Why? Grave 500. I just don't get it. Huh. Interesting. What the hell is going on? I don't know. Okay, let me restart the server again and then see. This is clearly crazy. And here, okay, we can have something like, okay, class name, text to Excel or maybe XL. Is it? Maybe you need to do, okay, it's inline block. Yeah, okay. Inline block. And then maybe here we can have a thicker border, like 2. Or something like that. Yeah. Okay. I think this is cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. So we did really good. Like, we are listing the blog posts that are coming from Contentful, and then we click through, we can see our blog post. Probably we can improve this and have the featured image, but you get the idea. And if you want to add it, feel free to make a pull request if you want to add the featured image. Yeah. Or maybe we can do it in another stream. So we'll see around that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this and hopefully learned something from it. And I'll see you in the next day.